we look sweaty and disgusting, it's because we are.
Oh, very good intro. We sailed down Biscayne Bay to a place where we could, like a channel we could actually get onto the ocean. So we're kind of like staged to go to the Bahamas. We've spent like all of today preparing for a 10-ish hour sail. Our weather window looks super clean, so we're just gonna go for it. We have 2 days of solo sailing experience.
This will be our 3rd sail together ever.
3rd time's a charm though, right?
Yeah. It's only 4 more hours than our last sail though.
Yeah, it took us like 6 hours to get down here. And it sounds far away, but like on an actual scale, it's not that far away. You know, it's like 50 nautical miles.
I'm aware that like if a crazy emergency happened, like we could get help. We're not gonna be that far away.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna go to the Bahamas so we can get a little bit of time there before we have to go back to the Northeast.
One of the things I did to prepare for the sail was to prep some food, because as someone who struggles with motion sickness, I knew I wouldn't want to be down in the galley while we were underway the next day. I made some yogurt parfaits, some tuna salad we could eat with crackers, and I made a double batch of dinner, which was a spicy tofu and broccoli stir fry, with the goal in mind that when we anchored the next day, we could just heat up dinner quick, but this ended up being way too spicy and was honestly kind of a fail. We saw all your comments about taking the paper off the cans, and I just wanted to say thank you. We did do that before we left the marina.
How are you feeling?
I'm super anxious. Just like this is our first time going into the ocean, just the 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us. We can ocean if we try.
Clearly we're a little delirious. We need some sleep. So I'm pretty anxious. I feel like I haven't been thinking very anxiously, but body response wise, like I can tell my anxiety's been very high today. So I'm just excited to get there because I know like once we get the process going and after we get checked in and everything, like I'll be fine because that's just who I am. But
yeah,
right now I'm nervous.
I feel fine.
Good, I'm glad.
I counteract Michaela's anxiety by absolutely not having a single worry.
Yeah, I'm up here, you're like, woo, just chill as a cucumber.
Yeah, because like if anything happens, we'll get through it.
Or we'll die.
And that'll be fine, what a way to go. Okay, yeah, we have to wake up at 4 in the morning. We actually just ran the channel in the dinghy that we're gonna go out into, just to make sure that like we kind of have an idea of what it looks like. We're gonna be okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
Shout out to our friend Hunter for telling us to go run the dinghy while it was still light out. We had a way better idea of what we were getting into when we took off in the dark the next morning. We woke up at 4 a.m. and were on the move by 4:30. Patrick was at the helm while I stood up front with a large flashlight so I could keep an eye on the channel markers and help guide him to make sure we stayed in the middle of the channel and didn't hit anything. This was our first time moving the boat alone at night. We've done a bit of night motoring with our instructor, but we were in the ICW and it was much more lit up than this. What took us about 5 minutes in the dinghy the day before took us over an hour in Talia. After we got past the channel, I made my way back to the cockpit. There was an overwhelming surge of fear that hit me once we hit open water in complete darkness. I ended up curled up in the corner with a panic attack, and truthfully, the only way I was able to calm down was by falling asleep. So huge shout out to Patrick because I know he was a little freaked out too, but he pushed through the darkness for both of us and took the helm. The second the sun came up, we were both doing a lot better.
Yeah, almost 4. Is that right? Yeah, we left at 4:30. It's now almost 8:30. It did take us like an hour to get onto the channel and get everything ready.
It was so dark. I mean, obviously it's dark. It's 4 in the morning, but it was hard.
It was pretty scary, like a little frightening. You know, we got through the channel okay. Then we got out to the open ocean.
And I had a panic attack.
Michaela had a bit of a panic attack. It was so dark.
Just the first time we went to the ocean alone, just the 2 of us, and it was dark.
Yeah.
It was horrifying for me.
Yeah, so Michaela came and laid down, and I just kind of like white knuckled through it a little bit. But yeah, now we're out into the real open ocean. We got no Mondays behind us, although it's Monday. We have to let them know there are some Mondays. This is like the third time we've ever really sailed by ourselves. So maybe a little bit ambitious. Maybe we're just kind of crazy people. But being out here is fine.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Yeah, once the sun came up, we felt 1,000 times better.
I still feel like we're crazy people.
Yeah, that doesn't change. But I've always kind of felt that way.
I'm not nearly as afraid as I was.
Yeah.
When it was dark.
We do have like a lifeline tied to like the side of our boat so that we can go up there without being too worried of falling aboard. Although we keep like butt scooching basically all the way up because we're only a little horrified. We're making some good time. 10, 15 knot winds. Should be an easier day compared to the start of it. I'm proud of you.
Been going pretty well. It's rollier than we expected, which is okay. Our boat can handle it. I have been struggling a bit with seasickness, and it seems like laying down closing my eyes is the only thing that helps. So poor Patrick has been like on watch this whole time. One part I'm struggling with motion sickness is I can tell that I'm like super hungry. I haven't really eaten anything today, a couple crackers, but I just like every time I try to eat, it feels worse. So it's just like I'm also nauseous because I'm hungry, but then like I can't eat because it makes the nausea even worse. So just kind of a bad cycle. I'm hoping I can just make it till we get there, and then I'll be able to eat something. Make it as in I don't hurl. I will say I've had a couple moments of like, I can't believe that we're moving with the wind. Like we're just moving through the ocean right now using the wind only. Like that is bananas to me. I mean, I know that's what sailing is. Like I'm aware of the concept, but like actually doing it and being like, oh my gosh, like we're just traveling through the wind right now is amazing feeling, truthfully. These past few years we've been flying a lot, and it was so strange to me that we were just like allowed to just get into the ocean. Like didn't have to say anything. We're just bye. That's crazy to me because it's just, you know, I'm so used to like going through so many security things. So it's like strange to just get on your boat and leave, but I'm not complaining. It's nice. It is now noon, and we probably got another like 3.5 hours to go. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get much cool footage of the front of the boat. It's probably gonna be a lot of footage from the cockpit. Just, oh my goodness. That's the nausea. It's probably just gonna be a lot of footage of the cockpit because that's where we are, and we haven't even like really been inside our own boat today. Cheers.
Almost there. We have like 15 nautical miles left, which should be just under like 2.5, 3 hours. So far so good. I did throw up like half an hour ago. Michaela's also been feeling sick, but I'm in good spirits about it, you know. You gotta separate that pain from the suffering. So just a quick heave-ho over the side, and now feeling like $1 million. I'm hoping that we can get to Bimini before the customs and immigration office closes, but even if that happens, I think we'll still be okay. We'll just have to keep the quarantine flag up, stay on the boat, and then check in the morning. I would say it was like a good sail, but maybe a little bumpy. We'll be happy to be in the Bahamas. We won't be happy to have to come back. Michaela and I are both feeling super queasy. We just both threw up for the second time each. But on the plus side, we can finally see land. Just like another hour, and then this should all be over.
Unfortunately, the ending was not that easy. At this point, we were just taking turns tying up to the safety line so that we could be sick off the back instead of in the cockpit. But that wasn't even the worst of it. When we went to bring in our Genoa and Storm sails, the lines were locked up and we couldn't get them down. Patrick had to go up front to fix them while we still sat in the Gulf Stream. This took another hour and a half, and poor Patrick was still throwing up in between rewrapping the lines while I was in the cockpit with my head in a bucket trying not to have another panic attack. I'll be honest, this was a rough ending to our third sail together.
The day I decided to sell my sailboat. No, I'm just kidding. That was pretty miserable though. We went to get both of our sails in, and it seems like both of the furlers had their lines crossed. We just went up into the wind and had to unwrap the furlers enough that we could untangle them, which also caused us to drift upstream like 4 nautical miles in the hour it took us to fix this thing. I think we both threw up a couple of times during that. So yeah, we're just gonna try to, I think it's past the point where we could actually check in with customs and immigration, so we're just gonna go and find a spot to anchor for the night. And then try tomorrow. Not the way you wanna end a sail.
It was kind of a day from the bad place.
HE double hockey sticks.
I was trying to keep it family friendly.
Yeah, we want to be monetized. Yeah, kind of brutal. I feel like the things that we thought were gonna go wrong all went wrong in like a fine way. Like it was scary getting out of the channel. It was a little rolly. We sailed like 8 or 9 hours and that was like fine. We get to Bimini. We turn up into the wind to pull the sails in, and both of the furlers are like locked. The lines crossed. We obviously like weren't keeping enough tension. I guess that's the only thing I can assume, because a couple people have told me like keep more tension on the furler. So it seemed like, well, that finally caught up with us, and then we had to like reline them. So that was like pretty miserable. Did get it done though. We got the sails in. We got to Bimini around 4, but then we didn't actually pull into the channel until like 5:30. We were like puking because of how rocky it was. I just cleaned off the puke from up front. And we get to these 2 anchorages. We did fly our quarantine flag, so good on us there, but it's too late to check in. And it took us, we like dragged twice at the first anchorage spot that we were going to, so we decided, okay, let's go to the one next to it and see if the sand holds better there. And then we got it on the second try.
Yeah. The most difficult time we've had anchoring so far though.
Yeah, usually our anchor like digs in and it's good to go.
Yeah. It's like almost been, I feel like every time it's pretty much been first try.
Yeah, it's like one and done. So we tried a second spot and then now it's stuck. We feel good about it.
We both look outside worried.
Yeah.
Now it's stuck.
Yeah. It's been a little too much of a day, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about, like, I wish that this vlog would have gone better. I wish we could have filmed more. I wish that we got more of, like, the actual sailing process filmed. But this was the reality, was that we were throwing up all day and just having a really hard time.
But we did make it to the Bahamas, so now we get a little while to see what this is about.
I had to keep reminding myself during that sail because I kept thinking like, oh my gosh, we have to sail back, and more than that, but we have to sail back across the Gulf Stream. And then I was like, you have time. We don't have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, we've got time to recover. So.
Yeah, and now we know some of the mistakes we made.
It's true. We are very much so learning by doing out here.
Yeah, and it's a pretty brutal environment to be doing it in. Yeah, and it was unfortunate. The weather was supposed to be having the waves come behind us. It should have been a downwind sail, but then the last minute it shifted. So we basically had wind on the beam the whole day, which meant we were getting rolled by waves all day.
which is why our boat was covered in puke by the end of it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do better next time.
We'll do better next time. Are you still in this?
No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
We're still in this. We're still gonna keep going. It was a tough day, but honestly, even just being here right now, I'm like, it's gonna be okay. And I love you still.
I love you still too. Just the two of us. That one commenter said we can only sing together, not talk, so.
That's true. So now we have to sing more.
Yeah.
Which is great because we're so good at it.
Professional.
It's called anglefish. Angelfish. Angel.
Are you okay?
No.